Hey, Eric, how are you?
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. Hanging out over here in Los Angeles, California. You down there in San Antonio?
San Antonio, Texas, keeping it real here.
Hey, man, I heard you guys got some rain down there.
Yeah, it's been raining, but right now it's a little cloudy, so I'm ready to hit some barbecue right now.
Where are you going for barbecue?
There's a place called Dickie's Barbecue Shop up by Alamo Ranch, so I'm trying to go there and see what the brisket's like.
God dang, I tell you what, it's been a long time since I had some good barbecue here on the streets of Los Angeles. That's one thing I miss about Texas and I miss about the Broken Skull Ranch is able to find good barbecue. Hey, man, let's talk about what you want to talk about. What'd you call for?
So I know you guys talk about ribs all the time, so I wanted to know if Vince McMahon has ever ribbed you.
Man, I saw that question on the monitor, and I was thinking, man, has Vince McMahon ever ribbed me? I'm sure he has. I'm probably not aware of some of them. Maybe some of them were payoffs. I don't know. And I say that's a rib. I'm kidding. Vince was always very generous to me as far as the payoffs go. One time we went out there. It was Lillian Garcia and myself. And I always like, doing stuff with Lillian because she was so game and she was just willing to do anything out there. She's a very giving person out there. So I guess it was going to be the night when I sang the national anthem. They could put the words on the teleprompter for me. And I started singing, but Lillian didn't start singing because she heard me and the way I started off, because I can't sing and I'm basically tone deaf, I was singing so far out of key that she said that she would have had to jump like 5 octaves to catch me. So when I was singing, I looked over at Lillian and she wasn't singing, so I'm thinking, hey, this is a setup. And as I'm thinking that, we're on live TV, man. This is Monday Night Raw, where you never let them see you sweat. And I'm thinking, all right, I just been had. And then finally she starts kicking in and trying to, keep up on the way I started, just kind of screwed her up. But that's a rib that I thought was played on me in live TV. And I was like, God dang, you some bitches got me.
Funny.
Hey, man, you got anything else?
Have you ever ribbed somebody, or what's the best rib that you ever done to somebody else?
I wasn't a big rib guy. I like to watch ribs unfold. I never was into the malicious stuff, guys, really, screwing somebody over. The old stuff that happens back in the days, like when we used to go to some of the old high schools or some of the National Guards, when you're in the dressing room, a lot of those dressing rooms had padlocks. And, if there was any open padlocks, those guys that ribbed would get those padlocks, they'd go find a pair of pants, and they'd lace up all the belt loops and then put that combination lock on there and snap it shut. And then, someone's either got their pocket knife cutting their belt loops off or doing something because you don't get that lock off and no one's running around with the bolt cutter. So I enjoyed seeing, silly ribs like that. But really, honestly, unless somebody could tell me different, I'm sure I pulled a few ribs here and there, but I just wasn't a ribber, man. I didn't like the malicious stuff. I liked the fun stuff because the fun stuff kept everybody honest. You're out there strung out on the road, you beat up, you broke down. Who knows if you're making any money or not, depending on what territory you're in. And we were all having a blast and living the high life and having fun being pro wrestlers. But life on the road, sometimes when you see it on TV, it looks all glitzy and glamorous. But when you jump off in the middle of it and you got something pulled or something broke or you need a surgery or something get patched up, it can turn into be a real grind. And I always tell everybody, man, that pro wrestling was the best job I ever had. Now, it was tough as shit, but damn, it was fun doing. But to answer your question and be specific, I really wasn't a ribber. And if Vince ever pulled a rib on me, I thought it was that time when we were singing the national anthem.
I appreciate your time, and thanks for all the memories, and thanks for the award-winning podcast.
Some bitch ain't never won any awards, and I don't care if it ever does, because that way I can keep saying this podcast ain't never won a damn thing. Appreciate you calling in. Take care down there in Texas.
Take care.